got some great shows to Mystic Lake Amphitheater this year. Leonard Skinner and Thorner will be there August 16th. Motley Crue August 21st. You get complete details on all of our upcoming shows on the concert page, KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
Can you repeat the part of the stuff where you said all about the things?
Fire away.
Sounds of hockey. We're happy for you.
Minnesota is so hot.
Oh, good.
You homer!
The game is over.
Ooh. This is an old-fashioned ass kicking right here.
Alrighty. Yeah, Olivia King, Youth Hockey Hub. Olivia King, Youth Hockey Hub, frequent contributor to the Love Covenant. This is courtesy of Metropolitan Ford, metropolitanford.com. Go see Eric Bjorgard and look at the voluminous nature of the previously owned or used automobiles. They have them a lot right now because they have a bunch of new ones coming in each and every day. Sunny skies for today. So it's a beautiful day to go to 494 and 5 in Eden Prairie. Metropolitan Ford, say hello to EB and wish his son Chase well into the tournament time of the year. And Chase plays for the Edina High School hockey team. Olivia was a goaltender for the Golden Gophers hockey team, and she's with us now. What have you been up to these days? And good morning.
Hey, Paul. Good morning. I'm excited to be on and talk hockey. I mean, we are right in the thick of it. I feel like people say that January lasts forever and then February goes so fast because it's all playoffs, all fun. Mm-hmm. So I'm really excited for that.
I planned a surprise for you today. We've texted. You're very kind. We hadn't seen each other in about a month. So I wanted the Olivia King return to have a surprise with it. But I couldn't pull it off. Now it's not going to be a surprise next week when it happens, and I do think it's going to happen. Here's the deal. I wanted Frosty to join today. Now, Brad and I have known each other for quite some time. All right. Mm-hmm. He might live in Shakopee, or he used to. I've seen him around there and stuff, but Brad is terrific. As you would know, he was your coach. So I texted Frosty the other day, and I'm like, Kinger, as he calls you. We're doing this and everything, and just fantastic, and surrogate, raising kids on the, just however you want to look at it. I'd like you to surprise call. And let's have you on to chat about your squad, chat about Olivia, and just chat hockey a little bit. And he was all in, but 20 minutes ago they left for Ohio State. So I'm like, she's there at 11. And he's like, well, we're in the air at 10:30. So don't be surprised if next week, when you stop by, that Brad Frost, your former coach, calls the radio show. You're cool with that?
Oh, yeah, I would love that.
All right.
Absolutely.
So we were going to chat a little bit about the lady he calls Kinger, and maybe next week we can pull that thing off. However, Brad's so cool, he left me with a little nugget in our conversation. Aww. He told me a story. Brad Frost coaches the Golden Gophers women's hockey team. Olivia used to play for that team and for Brad. He told me a story about a game your Gophers had in Bemidji. All right, you weren't playing much. and your dad was in attendance. Take it from there, please.
Oh, yes.
Aw. See, I had this big surprise set up, man.
Oh, Frosty knows how much I love my dad and him, honestly. Yeah. So, yes, we went to Bemidji. I was young, but I didn't play much. And
this is emotional for you, isn't it?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah. And I was so happy to be a Gopher because they gave me an opportunity that nobody was really affording me at the time. I was a northern Minnesota girl.
Don't take this the wrong way. You're diminutive. Okay. You're not, super tall or anything. And you're a goalie.
Exactly.
So did that play into it?
Oh, definitely. Okay. And at that time, the trend was to have really tall, really big goalies. And I think we've seen a big shift in that. I mean, you look at Erin Frankel, who's the U.S. women's Olympic goalie, and she's not a big goalie now.
What about Maddie Rooney?
And Maddie, she's a little bit bigger than me, but not much.
Yeah, she was fast. She was twitchy.
Super fast and super athletic. And that's what, someone like Erin Frankel is. But at that time, my goalie partners were really tall and great goalies. I mean, they deserve the net. They were, 6 feet tall or more. And we went to Bemidji. My grandparents actually live in Bemidji too. And not many people in attendance. We were up and
here comes Kinger.
Yeah, coach we were, after the second period, we go in the locker room and I really wasn't expecting it at all. And we were sitting there and he walks in and he's like, Olivia, get ready. You're going to go in. And everybody in the locker room got up and went crazy.
They didn't tell me that
crazy. Part. It was so special. We had some of our older seniors had tears in their eyes. And this was after the second period. I mean, it was really special. I think a lot of people knew, how the journey that it took me to get to college hockey. And, they knew also my faith journey and how much I'd moved through college and become closer to God. And so it was really, really a special thing. And there's a video of one of our scratches taking a picture of my dad. And because he was
on YouTube or something?
No, they sent it to me after the game and he was tearing up, watching me go in. And my dad is, he's a very, quiet guy. I have only seen him cry maybe twice in my whole life. So, it was just a really special moment for our family. I mean, I remember the first time I even put a Gopher jersey on my freshman year. I was our fourth goalie. It was, in a game, I was redshirting, but I got to dress during an exhibition game. And I remember seeing my dad after the game. I walked up the stairs and same thing. He had tears in his eyes. There was no chance, no opportunity that I was going to, play in that game even. Right. And he was just like, everything we ever went through, all the work that you ever did, it was worth it to see you in that jersey.
Daughters and dads. What's your father's name and how instrumental was he with you playing hockey in high school and college?
Oh my gosh. My dad's name is Kurt and he was always my biggest supporter. He coached boys football and hockey varsity in Brainerd. He was assistant coach for both for quite a long time through my high school career. So he was always around and he was definitely a coach, as I like to say. I was very much I would push back on him a lot.
Yeah. And
he would just tell me like it was. And I think that helped me a lot in my college career because, especially my early years when I wasn't playing much, I remember I'd tell people this story all the time because it's so funny to me now. And it taught me a big lesson. There was only one point in my college career where I called my dad and I remember I was crying. I was walking home from the rink and I was like, Dad, I'm struggling. I'm not playing. I don't understand why. And he said, among other choice words, he said, if you're going to be a baby about it, then just quit.
Yeah.
And I was so upset and I hung up on him and I was so done with him. I was just trying to vent and which I didn't do often. I felt like, and then I called him back 2 hours later and I said, Dad, you were right. I was being a baby. I'll never do it again. And I think it was nice to have someone who really understood because he was a coach for so long. He understood the other side of it and he was like, you need to see, this is a business.
Yep.
You know, they're doing things the right way. You've got people ahead of you that are winning games. And so it was really cool. It's been great to have someone like that in my path. Like he's always someone I can call and know that he'll have sound advice for me, not just try to be like pumping my tires.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Do you see him often?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And
well, that's great. And the reason I said that is I think I've told you this. My daughter is how old are you?
25.
Okay. Well, my daughter's just turned 23 and she lives in Denver. Okay. Starting a career, hopefully to get into the FBI. So we're in kind of a between period now. Well, I mean, my daughter moved to Colorado at age 18. So being an 18-year-old young lady heading on the road to go to college and you know, that's 4.5, 5 years ago now. So like, I mean, obviously I miss her every single day, a lot. And you telling that story, it caused me to get a little emotional, as you can see. But like last night I woke up at 1:08 in the morning and I'm not a big panic guy. I'm not a big anxiety guy. I was having like a low-key panic attack, thinking something was wrong with my daughter. So I called her. She didn't answer. Then I sent a text. Everything good? Coley, everything good? What you doing right now? And then she wrote back like 15 minutes later or whatever that, yeah, everything's fine. What are you talking about?
It's 1 a.m.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like 1:28. And I'm like, sorry, my bad. I just, bad dream. I don't know what happened. I love you. Call you tomorrow. Yeah, Dad, call you tomorrow. Dads and daughters, man. You know,
Yeah.
dads and sons are great too. Dads and daughters is just, you know, like just hard to explain.
I agree. It's just a special.
But you explained it beautifully.
It really is a special connection. And he is my, you know, he's like always been like our sole provider. You know, I have two brothers and just my dad. So it really is special. Lots
Are you
of
the
boys
youngest
in the
of
house.
those three?
I'm the middle kid.
Okay.
So I think that explains the big personality really well. And I was spoiled because I was the only girl. So,
hey, can I take this to 25 and we're okay with Roach? All right, cool. Olivia King, Youth Hockey Hub. Anything else I need to be pushing here?
We had the
Talk
girls.
only to me.
Oh yeah, I just had Brianna Biartieri on, which was actually really cool. Was the U18 World's goalie, the girl goalie for that tournament, and they won the gold medal. I thought it would be fun to have somebody on, you know, right before the Olympics, before our U.S. women win gold, because they're expected to. And, you know, she had a crazy gold medal game. She had 38 saves in a 2-0 win against Canada. And it was the first time in event history that the U18 women have, you know, never trailed or tied the entire tournament. They won every game. So it was cool to talk to her and kind of see her experience. She was from Texas and just had a crazy path to like.
She have a draw?
No, she didn't.
Really?
I wish. That would have been funny. She didn't, but.
Not funny, different.
Cute.
Yeah.
Cute. Very cute.
Well, I'm not going to say cute either. I'm just going to say different, okay?
But
You
yeah,
can say cute.
it was cool to talk to her, especially because we've got so much USA hockey coming up. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, it was exciting.
Who beats this USA women's team? I mean, honestly, Philippe Poulin, the captain didn't play. But when they had that rivalry series, Poulin, their captain, played in all the games. And they lost every game.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the prelim games, and U.S. scored 5 goals in all 4 games. That's absolutely crazy on an Olympic stage, like how much offensive power that this team has. And they're so young, like Carolyn Harvey, Abby Murphy, all these girls like Britta Curl, like they're just so much younger, I think, than Canada right now. And I think that's what everybody's thinking, why it's making them so much more dominant. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, I think this is the best U.S. Olympic team in so long because of that offensive power. And, you know, they've got this quarterfinal game at 2:10 versus Italy on Friday. So I'm excited for that. But, yeah, just crazy. Abby Murphy having a great tournament. She's got 3 assists so far.
Yeah.
Amazing support player.
Well, the no-look to Bilka is immortality.
Oh, my gosh.
It's an immortality move.
She's had 2 amazing assists. And it's so funny because I think of Abby Murphy, I think of her as like a front runner powerhouse. And
what's that mean?
Like she's scoring the goals.
Oh, I see.
She's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she's been in such a cool like support player this year. I think she's grown on both sides of that. So that's really exciting. And It was funny. Talked with her the other day, and all we talked about was how Snoop Dogg's at the Olympics. So,
Has she met him?
yeah,
She fist bumped him or something?
Oh yeah, she's got a selfie with them. She sent it to
Are
me.
you kidding me? Well, I saw like Quinn Hughes and Boldy and a bunch of those guys. You know, I think I saw it at the Athletic, but I didn't know about the ladies. That's really cool that you said that about that. She was excited to meet Snoop, because in chatting with Parker Fox, fiance to Taylor Heisey, I mean, he tells some sweet stories about Zumwinkle, Heisey, and some others. And it's like now they're in the Olympic Village and everybody's walking around. It's like, that's Connor McDavid, you know? And I mean, these guys are on worldwide TV too. These girls have a better chance to win a gold than the men do, with respect. But it's like, that's Macklin celebrating. Wow, I'm actually older than him. That's weird. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
They're starstruck.
Exactly. I think it's just, how much women's hockey is still growing. And it's funny because people think of Abby Murphy that way. I mean, I was on the outdoor rink last night and someone asked me if I played hockey in college. And I was like, oh, I did. I played here at the U.
You were playing last night?
Yeah,
you
just
were
for
goalie?
fun. No, not goalie. No, forward. And
was it hockey,
just
broom
pick
ball?
up hockey.
Okay.
Yeah, on the outdoor rink. And
broom ball's the bomb.
I've never played. I gotta get on that.
I still got some boots from 20 years ago if you need them for like to cup the ice or
They'll
whatever.
Totally fit. But they were asking me, and they were like, "Oh, do you know Abby Murphy?"
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, I do.
How great is that?
She's one of my best friends, and they were like, she's amazing. They think of her in the same way that people think of like Connor McDavid.
Wow.
And so
because they've seen it.
Exactly. They've seen it and they've seen how good she is. And I just think that's really cool. And it shows how much women's hockey is growing.
Yep.
And it wasn't just girls that were saying that to me.
Yeah. And it's, this comes with respect because Natalie Darwitz and all, they all had wonderful careers. But I can't necessarily say that would have happened with some of like women hockey immortality out on the rink on a nondescript Wednesday night unless they see the no-looker to Bilka or the goal when she was coming down to the right of the goaltender and she flipped it up to herself. I mean, she's making plays that are making TV channels that go worldwide, and that's only going to help her.
Absolutely. And, social media helps with that so much.
Great point.
People get eyes on that when, somebody who like Natalie Darwitz, who is unbelievable, like didn't have that.
Yeah.
So
great point.
It's just like, I think that's why there's more eyes on it. And those women were incredible too. It's just, it's easier to watch women's hockey now.
Yeah. Well, in closing here, let me ask you this because I brought it up the other day with Michael Russo from The Athletic yesterday. And like Kenny Albert, who calls the games for USA Network, all right? And I've watched, out of the 4 games, I've probably watched full games, 2.5, something like that. But the full game against Canada. And that's when Kenny Albert said this. He was trying to describe when checking is legal with women. Like, you can check, but this has to happen and this has to happen, as opposed to like a forecheck. And then here comes OK, just boom, smacking on the forecheck. Let's keep the puck down there and make a play. Like, so from what you remember from when you played collegiately, when is checking or certain types of checks permissible in women's hockey? And like in the PWHL, is it different?
Yeah, in the PWHL, you can definitely be more physical. They have a little bit different rules. So it's really fun to watch. I think, they did that on purpose so they could say to people, like people who have the argument that women's hockey is not fun to watch because they can't check and they can't do this or that. That's not true. You watch the PWHL, you see that.
Yeah.
And
you watch the action in the crease too.
Exactly.
I mean, it's not full bore cross checking, but I mean, nevertheless, it's physical.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, even college hockey is physical too for girls. But I think especially on this Olympic stage, like you'll start to see that. These are the best women in the world.
Yeah.
These women play, obviously, a lot of them play in the PWHL, but
the Canadians have some scrappers I've never heard of.
Oh, yes.
Team Canada, that girl who, when Abby came off the bench and she clipped her, and I thought I was going to be a major, but it was a 2-minute minor. Well, I can't remember her name. That girl's scrappy.
Yes, Abby has really behaved herself this tournament so far, and it's funny to see other teams going after Abby because of her reputation already.
Really?
They think, they think she's gonna be super aggressive. They think that she's gonna do this or that, but I think she's done a really good job of, drawing a lot of penalties this tournament so far.
If you got people thinking that you're going to smack them, you've already won the battle.
Exactly. She plays the mental side of hockey super well, not only the physical side, like I've said before. And so, yeah, women's hockey's fun to watch. It's super physical. And I think in these prelim games, we saw that a little bit. And now going into these medal round games, we're definitely going to see it.
Yeah. And
it's a little bit harder on the international stage, but to be as physical, I think.
Yeah.
But in the P-Dub, they definitely are. And, they get fined and they get, it's obviously much less than the NHL guys. But
we're going to mix in the boys next week and talk about the Wild and stuff like that. So I'll see you next week. And thank you very much for the help, all right?
Sounds good. Thanks, PA.
Yep, no problem. Olivia King, Youth Hockey Hub. And here comes Brett Blakemore before Alan Roach joins 9 to noon. And Brett Blakemore has some money to give away.
The cash thing, the fan wants to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with the National Cash Contest. Head to KFAN.com. The keyword is money for this hour. Keyword money, KFAN.com. Keyword.
All righty now. Welcome back and into the penultimate this Thursday. And here comes Slayton, Minnesota's worldly Vox, the great Alan Roach, the Vox of all Voxes ever to Vox, also the voice of U.S. Bank Stadium. And Alan joins us now from Milan. Come sta, uomo mio? Or how are you, my man?
Hey, I'm doing finally. I think after 3 days of being here, I'm starting to realize a little bit of my travels and tiredness. I got 2 games today again, and I'm still alive. I'm still doing good. I'm ready to go, but I think I'm hitting that 3-4 day wall of, oh man, this is actually happening.
Athletic alert! The great Russo Radio wrote a story about Alan Roach's travels at The Athletic and theathletic.com. It popped last night. Yours truly read it this morning. And it was good to know that in being the Levi Stadium, the in-stadium voice of a Super Bowl 60, 18th Super Bowl for the Vox, and then like 4 or 5 hours after that, starting the journey to Milan. It's good to know that that you were able to rest on your first flight, because what are you, like 6'6", 6'7"? And like how did you rest? You're that tall.
Yeah, 6'6", and the first flight from San Francisco to Newark was an older plane, so I purposely was able to buy business class or first class, whatever. That's the only way this was going to work, is if I could sleep. But the first plane was older, and the business class was small, and even though the bed laid down, I didn't fit in there. So I slept okay, but then I got to Newark, and I spent most of the day in the United Club. And those are nice. Now they had I forget what it's called, the Polaris Club. So there were showers in there.
Oh, geez.
And quiet rooms. So that was pretty nice. Then jumped on the plane in Newark and came to Milan, and that plane was beautiful. That was the 777 lay down. And I had my meal right after getting on the plane, and the next thing I know is somebody was tapping me going, "Sir, we land in 15 minutes." And I'm like, oh, yes.
That's awesome. Oh, so wait a second. You showered in the Newark airport?
I did.
Oh, that's crazy. I've never heard that before in an airport. I mean, you're Mile High Roach, and we've heard of the Mile High Club, but Mile High Roach showering at an airport, I can't say I've ever heard that. Hey, by the way, let me get this out of the way first, because I don't want to forget it, and it's heartfelt, man. And you and I joke around a lot on and off the mic, but great job with the Super Bowl pregame, at least what we saw on TV. And I'm talking about, they come out of break, and it's up to the coin toss with the Montana and Rice and Peyton Manning thing. I mean, there was a lot going on there, Vox, and it's your job, I know, and you take it very seriously, and you're very good at it, but I just wanted to tell you, man, what awesome work we all heard you do on NBC. That was good.
Well, that's really kind. Thank you. I try not to think about how much pressure there is in those moments.
Yeah.
And, I think there probably is an enormous amount of pressure in those moments. Thankfully, my brain and my lips and my tongue follow my eyes in reading, and that's all I'm doing is reading off a piece of paper. But, once it's all done and I'm like, yeah, nailed it. It feels great.
That's awesome. What did you think of the game, Super Bowl 60?
There weren't any really big plays. I mean, the one big touchdown pass was the Patriots at the end, and that was when it was pretty close to over. There was a couple of big turnovers. But the game was, it wasn't dull and boring. It just didn't have a lot of pizzazz.
Now, when you and I last chatted, you did have some trepidation would be the wrong word. Anxiety would be too strong. You just were a little nervous about the journey from from Santa Clara and Levi Stadium to the airport to get to Milan. Because you have Super Bowl and I would imagine right after the game some post Super Bowl responsibilities, and it's an hour and change minimum with minimal traffic to most airports around there, unless you left out of like San Jose. Was there anxiety getting to the Milan flight?
Yeah, and that's what I told Russo last night. That was the worst part. Was I've done 18 Super Bowls, so I woke up 18 times on a Sunday morning and looked in the mirror and said, wow, I'm going to announce a Super Bowl today, and I'm filled with excitement and anticipation, and, this is going to be so cool. Well, I woke up this Sunday, and it was like, oh, God, I got to pack one suitcase for Milan. I got to pack a box that I need to take with me to mail back to Colorado, the stuff I don't want to take to Milan. I got to do all this stuff. Then I got to go drive to the Super Bowl where you deal with all of everything you've done for the last week. Now all those roads are closed. You need to park an extra mile away. And then after the game, I need to somehow get to my car, and I didn't want to leave all my suitcases in my car, so I put them in a hotel, so I have to get to my... So all of that stuff was going on in my head on Sunday morning, and it was... it sounds like, woe is me, but it was the worst Super Bowl Sunday morning I've ever had, stress-wise.
Wow.
But once I landed in Newark, and after the Super Bowl, I went through the whole process of I had to go, I had to walk to my car, then I had to go to a hotel, but the hotel is closed and you can't park there and you got to have a pass to get in. Oh. So there was an hour and a half of hell trying to get my clothes changed and get ready to go to SFO. But once I got on the plane in San Francisco and landed in Newark, it was all good. But yeah, there was some consternation, if that's the right word.
All right. So later today, 2:10 cornfields. We have the USA and Latvia as the USA men's team debuts in the Milan Olympics, the Italy Olympics, but hockey's in Milan. Does in arena boxing of Colorado Avs games, Alan, make it easier to handle some of the trickier Euro names you encounter at the Olympics?
Well, sure, because you've seen some of them before, but the difference is, maybe you have one Latvian on a team, or you see one Latvian every two or three games. Today, and different than the NHL, both teams' full rosters are announced every game. Oh. So I have 25 Latvians to announce and 25 Czechians to announce tomorrow, and those names are there's some syllables going on there.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the Latvia roster. 97, we're used to 97 around here being Kirill Kaprizov, but for Latvia, it's like Haralds Egla. I mean, you got Rudolph's Balsers, Giannis Yaks. Boy, holy cow! Yeah, I'm gonna start praying for you right now with these names. Wow, these are
it's and what makes it even harder is that there's Italian mixed in as well. Ooh. Now the Italian announcer doesn't say the names; only I say the names. But so the way it goes is when you announce the teams, you're like, I say, okay, let's meet the goaltenders for Team Latvia.
Yeah.
Goaltender number 1, Then the Italian says goalkeeper number 1. Then I say Lukas Dostal. Then goalkeeper number 50. Then the Italian says goalkeeper number 50. And so to do that ping pong back and forth and to keep your brain, and then every time I'm staring at these names that have, 17 consonants and 5 syllables, and it's like, much like the Super Bowl pregame, it's like, I'm reading it, my eyes see it, I just hope my mouth says what it's supposed to.
But Alan, from the Super Bowl through the pressure and everything that went with getting to the plane, and you got to Milan, and as we read in a Russo radio story, you were amazingly lucid, and you're like, I could have done the voxing right off the plane, so you felt really good, which is fantastic. But your first game, USA Canada women. And granted, it was a blowout, but what a way to start! And it was great, While I think Kenny Albert was doing the play-by-play on USA, so I'm watching and listening to that. But we could plainly hear you in the background, and I'm like, yes, my man made it. And when you sent me that text after Taylor Heisey got that penalty at the end of the second period, and so you got time to text, before the third period, and you're like, you were 5 feet from where she was. So are we to believe that are you rinkside doing the public address announcing for all hockey? Because if so, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, and I was for the Avalanche for 20 years. COVID got moved out of ice side and put up in the rafters. And so to come back to the Olympics and be able to be ice side, yeah, I sit right in between the penalty boxes. There was nobody between Taylor and I while she was in the penalty box except a sheet of glass.
Wow, so we can see you on TV, right?
The way the camera angles is that I've seen, you will see the back and the top of my head. So where the camera angle is, I'm on the near side of the ice, real close to the red line.
Alan Roach, voice of U.S. Bank Stadium, also the voice of the hockey games at the Milan Olympics. He's on the 9 to noon show. And he also is the in-arena box for Colorado Avalanche games, as maybe you just heard when he intimated it. Is Nathan MacKinnon your favorite player? And if so, does that mean you are openly rooting for Canada?
He's certainly one of my favorite players to watch. I mean, Cale Makar, too. And I really had fun last night doing the Sweden game.
Oh, yeah.
With, here's the difference. The Swedish players, every player on every team has announced their name into a recorder and given it to all of the announcers so we know how to say their names.
Awesome.
All of the Swedes pronounced their names differently than their names are announced in every NHL arena every night.
Wow.
For instance, one of my favorite players is Gabriel Landeskog. I've announced Gabriel Landeskog at Avalanche games for 10 years.
Yeah.
Well, his name in the recording last night was Gabriel Landeskog.
Wow.
And so when he scored a goal, I got to say, number 92, Gabriel Landeskog.
Well, what are you going to do when you get back to Ball Arena? Because you're going to be thinking about it.
Yeah, I'll probably ask him, but I know his answer will be no. I want to go back to Gabriel Landeskog.
Yeah. There's a young man named Parker Fox who is Taylor Heisey's fiance, and I think he's nervous to approach you to say hello. What do we tell him? Because he's over there in Milan supporting his fiance, and he loves you, and I think he's nervous to approach you. What do I do?
Oh, no, tell him absolutely. I thought of him the other day while I was sitting there next to Taylor. I was thinking I should get a selfie of me sitting here next to Taylor and send it to you and have you send it to him.
Ain't many people in that arena taller than you, but he's one of them, right? I think he's like 6'8". I'm glad later today. We are glad you get to see Boldy, Faber, and Quinn Hughes. I mean, that's the Minnesota Wild firepower with which the world will have to contend. Vox, what say you?
Yeah, I get to see both Canada men and USA men. The first game I do today is Canada, Czechia.
Yeah, Czechia.
And then USA, Latvia. So, yeah, they are both loaded, and really the other teams are too. There's plenty of Latvian players, and Czechia is basically all NHL too. So, it's nothing but NHL players today, and they're going to be two really good games.
Alan, couple of quickies to close here. Alan Roach, cool jobs for sure, but still, from the Pro Bowl to the Super Bowl to Milan with Avs games in there too. I mean, that can be a bit grindy for our beloved Vox. Are you getting those toes into some sand, like some white sand or something, anytime soon?
Well, no, not anytime soon that I see on the horizon. There's no sand in my future. Maybe once we get to World Cup, if I'm lucky enough to get an offer to do some World Cup games, maybe I'll ask for a beach city there.
Did you happen to see Mikko Rantanen yesterday with the Finns? And if so, were you crestfallen because last year he was the love you lost out Ball Arena way?
Yeah, I did not see that game yesterday. So I got to the arena just, I think, as that game was ending, so I didn't see a whole lot of it. I do have the Finns, I think, coming up tomorrow. The Finns beat the Slovaks beat the Finns yesterday. Is that how it went? Yeah.
Yeah, and they got this.
I look forward to seeing Mikko again.
Yeah, they got this kid. I can't remember what his name is, like Sofakoski or something like that. I had no idea who he was. Scored 2 goals yesterday. I think he might be the first pick in the upcoming draft. So who knew? All right. Lastly, I'm going to be at the Indianapolis Scouting Combine with Bursich in a week and change. So hopefully we gather some Vikings off-season steam to make your football team better into next season. That after we get done with the Olympics here and we get to the Combine, that's going to be the A topic and the modus operandi. That's exciting, isn't it?
I look at the Vikings app almost every day, even over here. I'm always looking at news, and I listened to KFAN a little bit while I was in San Francisco, certainly, and haven't had a chance to tune in to 9 to noon here, because not until today do I even know when 9 to noon is in Minneapolis. So maybe in the next few days I'll get on the old iHeart machine and tune into KFAN as well.
Hey, man, fire a bullet today, as I know you will. Greatly appreciate the time. Safe travels, and you're wonderful. Thank you very much, Alan.
Thank you, PA.
See you, bud. Yes, sir. That's Alan Roach, the Vox of all Voxes, ever to Vox. The voice of U.S. Bank Stadium, the voice of Ball Arena, and as you will hear in the background later today at about 2:10, when Team USA takes to the ice to play Latvia, you will hear in the background a very familiar voice, the dulcet baritone-like tones of Alan Roach, the Vox of all Voxes, ever to Vox. I'm Paul Allen. This is the 9 to noon presentation at FM 100.3 KFAN. Good morning. Guaranteed human, kind of. In the deep stages of 9 to noon this Thursday, we got Double B, Brett Blakemore, part of the Packer Review podcast. You and the Sultan still doing that podcast?
It's in season 1, so we're on hiatus for that.
Green Bay free agents of note. Team is $1 million and change over the cap. I got a minute and change. Left tackle Rasheed Walker, 11 penalties last year. Rasheed Walker coming back to your covenant. What do you think?
The understanding is that I think Jordan Morgan's going to be the guy going forward. I don't know where that leaves Rasheed, but as far as I'm concerned, that whole O-line's probably going to look significantly different next season. So it's probably going to be him on the outside of that.
Romeo, 8-124-1 the last time you saw him. 8-124-1 at Chicago.
Yeah.
Romeo's unrestricted. Your thoughts?
He's gone, which is sad, but there's a lot of mouths to feed in that room with Watson and Reed and Golden and Wicks, and the guy that's probably going to be on the outside looking in is Dobbs. He has had some availability issues. He was electric his last couple games this season, though.
Defensive end Kingsley Enagbare.
I like him.
You don't want to lose him.
No, I think he's a good depth piece, and he could be a pass rushing asset as well if Micah wants to take a breather, which hopefully he's back for week 1. So I like him.
Quay Walker.
I think he's absolutely solid, and they would
re-sign him.
Really silly.
That's what you would want.
Him. Yes.
You're going to need a backup for Jordan Love, right? What
most likely?
Who do you hope that is? You have your eyes on anybody super special, young man?
Anyone that is generally serviceable will do, but that's few and far between these days because the level is so much of a drop off from serviceable guys to everyone else. So I would like it to be Malik, but it's probably not going to be the case.
Thanks for the help today, brother. Always appreciated.
As always, love working with
Brett
you.
Blakemore filling in for Nordo, who's back tomorrow, and I'm Paul Allen. Thank you very much for the good times. God bless all of you, and thank you for listening to FM 100.3 KFAN. Dan Cole, the Common Men in the program, coming up next on your favorite station, KFAN.
Podcast today's Paul Allen Show, or listen back to previous show and interviews by going to the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.